Welcome to Real Talk TV. Good morning. If you are watching this on the replay, I hope you are having or have had a wonderful day. So this live is going to address, as you know from the title, uh, topics of the hood mentality, what it means to be from the hood. So I'm going to try and wait for a few people to come in to the room. Um, as we wait, I do want to play audio. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, there we go. This is of another channel holder. Addressing the hood mentality. Um, and you can go to his channel if you like. Um, Man, I wonder if I could do it. If I should do a video. Let's see. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing a video. What's up, Yummy? What's up? What's up? What's up, mamas? All right. I'm gonna play this video. I guess I'm gonna do it on here so that you can have something to reference. Let's see. YouTube. Okay. Yummy, how's your day going? How's your I think it's midday where you are. Mm-hmm. I'm not. All right. So I stumbled on this video. I'm gonna name hood name. Okay. All right. I found the video. Let me share my screen. Yeah, afternoon, right? About 2. So, Yummy, I'm curious. You are in the UK? Do they have? Well, obviously they do, but do you know much about the hoods of UK? Like, I guess they call them different names in different uh cultures or communities. Some would say the hood is equivalent to the ghetto, to the slums. The gutter, I know is one. Um, let's see. And I'm picking up this heavy topic early in the week because we're going to soften it up as we go. You know how we do on our Fridays. We officially have Friday workouts on the schedule of this channel. What's up? What's up, Ivy? How are you? All right. And so, shout out to Ivy Revine, who showed me how to to share my screen. Let's see. Okay. So I want to show you this video. But first, I should actually show you, before I show you the video, we have to know what exactly we are talking about. Let me stop sharing. I want to show you this first. Okay, so Chrome, put it is. Okay. Alright. Show of hands or ones or whatever in the chat. Do you identify as being from the hood? Did you grow up in the community that we identify as the hood? Did you grow up in the hood? Yay or nay? Possibility. I'm curious to see what's going on out there. Did you grow up in the hood? Because I'm going to read to you the Urban Dictionary based on a quote. And so, if you don't know what the Urban Dictionary is, it's just, they take words, colloquial words that are used throughout the African American diaspora, whatever you want to call it, within the American community. Mm. Okay, Ivy says yes, she's from the hood. She grew up in the hood. How about you, Yemi? Um, okay. So according to UrbanDictionary.com, which is a very so this UrbanDictionary.com is one of those things where the definition changes. Is very fluid in the definitions and where it obtains the definitions for words. So the hood mentality, according to Urban Dictionary, I'm gonna go to Urban Dictionary because I really honestly don't want to hear what anyone else says. Their source who is outside of the community. But Urban Dictionary uses a quote from Ice Cube, interestingly enough, to identify what the hood is. According to Urban Dictionary, the hood is mentally is a crippling disease that attacks your nervous system. It makes you nervous of the system. Gangsters and hood rats are especially susceptible to this growth stunting mentality. So key point here is it attacks your nervous system and makes you nervous of the system is a direct quote. It makes you leery of the governing system, and it's, I guess, a full body experience. So that's that PTSD that has been talked about before, and we will eventually get to talking about on this channel. It says the hood is where I'm from, but it's not what I am. This is a direct quote from a rapper who identifies himself as hood. So a few things I want to point out here. A few things I wanted to point out. Yemi, you from the hood too? Ooh, child. Yemi is from the hood. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing for a while. Okay. So Yemi says she's from the hood, and you heard my initial response. Woo, child, what? You from the hood? I say this. I say this because we all understand and we all know what it means to be from the hood. The expectations that are placed on you if you say that you are from the hood. Yemi says, yes, where I live, the term is ghetto. The term is ghetto. Absolutely. Yep. Ghetto is one of them. Peckham and okay. So these are the locations. Interesting. That they have locations that are the hood, right? When we think of the hood, we think of a specific place. I'm gonna write this down, y'all. I'm writing today. When we think of the hood, and you just kind of like put that really big in the middle of the page, we think of specific locations, and then you make little you know what do you call rays, I guess, or little lines coming outward like rays of sun, and you put different names. Hey Uppity, what's up? What's up? Uppity, are you from the hood? You have to answer that question. Oh, let me put it in the chat. because I want to have a discussion. I want you guys to talk. But first we have to establish something. Welcome. And question of the day. Are you from the hood? Yummy says it looks hood now. Okay. So stick with me, y'all. Don't go anywhere because I want to break this down, and I really want people to come up today and really just talk to me. Talk to me. If not, I'm gonna have to talk to I'm gonna have to talk to y'all. All right. Y'all know I can talk. All right. So we have the hood, right? This beaming physical place. According to Yemi, me, Ivy, I'm still waiting to hear from you, Uppity. This physical place, right? And we put names on them, like Yemi said. Oh yeah, it's Peckham. It's New Cross. It's New York, right? It's for me, it's Philly, South Philly, North Philly. What else? Southwest, So what are we saying when we say something is ghetto? A place is ghetto. Okay, the projects. Thank you. Thank you, Uppity. The projects. These are all places. These are all places. My question is, what within those places share commonality? Is it behavior? Is it a physical appearance? What is it in the hood that makes it the hood? What are the things that make it the hood? Edgemere. Okay, not all of New York. Edgemere. Because, some people say, I'm from New York. I'm from New York. That's how we are. I'm from New York. Or I'm from Philly. Fuck out of here. Yeah, that's how we do it in Philly. Shot town. Whenever somebody does something. Drug dealing. Okay, thank you, Yummy. We getting somewhere drug dealing. Yummy says drug dealing makes it the hood. What else? What else, y'all? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Give me something. Give me something. I'm about to open this panel. Give me something. Because by the time I open it, y'all better be ready to talk. Ivy. Uppity says there are some classy parts. Okay. The rough look. I need you to give me a description. Give me a description of what that rough look is. You started it, Yemi. You said drug dealers. Ivy says gun violence. Yes. Gun violence. Another one is I would say liquor stores. Let's just be real. Liquor stores. What else do you notice in the hood that makes it the hood? Chinese stores, or I don't know if it's only Chinese people who run them, but Asian owned stores. Right? There's a look. There's a look. Bad schools. Fucking facts. Let me put that up in the chat. Schools that lack funding, right? Bad schools. Schools that lack funding, schools that don't educate the child, schools that prepare children for prison. Those are considered bad schools. Overpriced bodegas. Oh my gosh. We call them poppy stores here. Yes. or bodegas. Let's see what else. Uppity says hair salons, facts, facts, facts on facts. Oh my God, thank you, y'all. No youth clubs. Oh, Yummy is on a roll, y'all. No youth clubs, right? So there are no programs. There are no programs for the youth or for anyone in general. Cheap stores selling smelly. Actually, those stores are overpriced, like Ivy said. They have little to low quality supermarkets, right? Okay. And tell me what the community looks like. We almost there, y'all. And then I'm gonna open the floor. Tell me what the community looks like. Food. Oh, and don't forget fast food. There's fast food restaurants everywhere, right? Fast food. Youth crime for sure. For sure. Um, Fast food restaurants. We have little to no quality, low and low quality food supermarkets. But what does the community look like? What type of people do you see? Is there a specific look? Mixed community, okay. Mixed with, like, I guess maybe white and black is what you're saying. What does these ghettos look like? What do these hoods look like? I know in Europe it's going to probably be a little bit different because the majority of the population is a little different. The demographic is a little different. But for the most part, you see people, black, what we call black, but brown people, melanated people within those communities. Because everything that you named, everything that you named, such as, you know, selling drugs, doing illegal activities, right? Gun violence, alcohol, schooling where education is lacking. What else? Hair stores, that soak up the money. That's really what you essentially saying. Stores that soak up the community's money. Where I'm from, people sit out on the benches smoking and drinking all day. Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, I'm about to open the panel. I think we're ready. I think we're ready. That's what it looks like. There we go. Right there. Right there. People sitting and doing almost absolutely nothing, or if they are doing something, it is illegal. Young boys dying. Yes. Okay. We're ready. So, my question is, since we named all those things in the hood, from the hood, within the hood, have you participated in any of these activities? And if not, what makes you a part of the hood? Here we go. I'm leaving the floor open. I'm leaving the floor open. Um, Today we're gonna get deep. I hope we do. I hope we have a discussion. I'm looking for different points of view. So don't be afraid to have a different point of view. Um, While I wait for people to come up, I want you to take a look at this video. Welcome, Ivy. Welcome. Oh,
Hey,
already. Hey.
what's up, Diva? How you doing today?
Listen, we about to open it up. We are
That's
not what we think we are.
let's do this.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, what happened? Here it goes.
If only there were robots here to serve us.
The sous vide really is the future of cooking.
Favorite for anyone who loves saving.
They're hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour.
Shout out to Casino is the
It's crazy,
name. The channel older I stumbled upon doing a little bit of, very
There's a
basic
huge
research.
disconnect if you didn't grow up in certain environments from people who did grow up in those environments, and a lot of those things shape. Your upbringing shapes the person that you become. That doesn't mean that you have to go out and become a violent individual because you come from a violent neighborhood. It doesn't mean that you have to become. That it doesn't make you become that coming from a safe neighborhood prevents you from becoming violent. It's just whatever those situations are.
I guess nobody else is coming up. Okay. All right. So, Ivy.
Yes, ma'am.
Hit me.
I mean, okay, I still have to listen to more of his context here because I have
No,
to know
not
where
this
he
guy.
goes.
Don't worry about him
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
I
He's
was
just
about
up
to
on
say
the
I need to
screen.
know.
Don't worry about him right now. Matter of fact, let me. How do I? I
You
don't
don't
want
have
to.
to
I want
take
to
him
take him.
down. That's not necessarily,
Okay.
not necessary. That's not necessary. I mean, I know the question you posed, and that's what you want the answer to. So let me start the discussion by saying, yes, I had in the past. I'm not glorifying it because there was things that I was not happy with, right? Some of the things that I participated coming from the area that I came from, where um, pregnancy, you in young girls was normal, right? Having children early was normal. I had my daughter early, right? So that's part of my participation. That's part of um,
Mm.
being desensitized to being promiscuous at a young age, right? Starting a family young. I had a child just like at a young age, like all the other girls did, right? Fighting, fighting was commonplace in the hood when
Yes, it is.
when you didn't somebody look at you the wrong way, So let's take it 2 on 2, right in the middle of the hood. Let's go. What are we doing here? Not to say I was happy about that. You understand? And it was common to see a friend of yours die. I've seen gun violence on more than one occasion. It was not anything that I would say I was happy about. I see that as time goes on, people glorify the hood as if to say it's a staple for kind of like your culture, kind of like a culture thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you should be proud of it because that means you're not someone to be messed with. I don't agree with that totally. I think that not to be ashamed of where you come from, because sometimes coming from those particular places give you kind of put you in a sort of a moral code in a sense, right? You get some kind of moral code growing up. So a lot of people coming from those areas, as they grow and as they get better over time in terms of their where they are emotionally and their, emotional intelligence, they still have that moral code that comes from the streets, right? Like don't sleep with another man's woman, or don't fight, especially when you grow emotionally, right? Or watch your mouth when you're talking to certain people, because you just never know how people perceive things. We have a certain moral code, but it doesn't mean that we are kind of like happy. A lot of us from where we come from, and the ones they haven't grown emotionally. They have
That's
not
right.
grown emotionally. They have not. So to walk around and say, I'm from the hood, I'm from New York. I said I had to put that baby to rest today. I hate that when people say that because I'm from New York. And I just don't understand why people feel that they got to walk around with that on as a cape. Like it's like,
It's a
you
cape.
know, like,
Yeah.
like a cape. For what? What is that signifying? You from New York, what? You understand? It doesn't, it's not saying that we're different from any other hood in any other state in any other country. You understand? So that bothers me when people say that, you know? But yeah, people usually put their hood on their back as a cape, as if to say, I'm cultured, I'm bigger than you, I'm harder than you, I got more testosterone than you, or more feminine masculinity than you, I can fight better than you, I can hurt you, or I can verbally annihilate you based on where I come from. All of which is just part of their own inner grandiosity to make themselves bigger because they feel insignificant in a big world. I don't glorify it, and I don't think anybody should. The hood is the hood. It's just a place from where you came from. It's part of where your oppression started. But if you overcame it, that should be your cape. That's how I see that. That should be your cape. If you overcame that, if you got out of that mindset and made yourself better,
Yeah.
right?
Do
Uh,
you think? Do you think that because you've overcome someone who's overcome living in a situation in an environment that many of us know as the hood, that you are somehow stronger than others? Your thoughts?
mm, I wouldn't say that. I got aunts. I got family members who still live in the hood, and I think in terms of strength, they got their own strengths from, I guess, from their own environment that they chose to stay into, right? That I respect, right? And then there's some people that family members that still live in the hood that I don't respect, right? I think that part of coming out was just part of a choice for myself, right? Because I already seen where it would head if I had chose to stay, right?
Mm,
If I had, just assessing my probability of success, or my children, for the sake of my children, knowing young boys are dying. I mean, the statistics is high, right? And I have a young son. How can I look at him and say, oh, I just hope that you're not part of the statistic? I mean, how do I look, right? Hoping, sitting around hoping for when he becomes 15, 14, 15, 16, and just hope he does not become a statistic, become a victim to gun violence. Why would I do that when I could just get up and move? Right? Like, I never, so I don't see myself stronger than those people. I just feel like I've made a choice different from theirs, a choice that some people are all for. Some people fear too many times. Some people fear change, and if they are part of they part of the system, or they sitting in these projects or these ghettos, and they don't see themselves making a change outside of that, they won't. And then it becomes generational, and their children don't see a life outside of the hood
mm,
as well. I remember going back, seeing some family members, and I have little cousins in the hood, and I would say, I remember taking them out, but they were still in a good age. I would say 12, 13, right? Taking them out. And what really broke my heart is I took them to a different part of New York, and they said, this is so much fun. I never left the
mm.
hood. I never left the hood. You're 12 and 13 and 14. You're telling me you never left the housing projects? You never left the housing projects.
This
What does that say?
so now we're about to get into okay. You brought up a good point. You
Hmm.
said in two occasions you gave me two different scenarios of, I guess, stories of how removing yourself physically created this immediate change.
Right. Hmm.
Do you think you can live in an environment that people identify as the hood without being a part of the environment? which is the hood. The reason I'm getting into this is the what makes the hood is separate from the hood as a physical place.
Of course. Correct.
You said you wanted to get up out. You wanted to leave. You needed to. And Yemi said, Yemi in one of the comments said it's mixed. It's the hood and it's not. Uppity said there are parts that are classy, probably a block or two away.
Yeah.
What exactly are we talking about when we reference the hood?
Right.
Are we talking about a physical place? Or is it something much deeper?
Well, I want to say that, the word projects, it says a lot. It's more than metaphoric. It has to do with a real system, right?
Mm-hmm.
A, a, a place that was put in place for Black people. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting a call right now. Okay. a system was put into place for Black people to be housed in a specific area in a very condensed living situation, right? Where it's either the stories, they got buildings, right? Or they have
Yep.
a small area where they packed in how low income housing, right? And you have to realize the
Mm-hmm.
psychological development of people placed in small environments with a lot of people, and what can that cause, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the project have two different meanings, right? The project is a place and is a mindset, right? It's a psychological mindset of a bunch of it's a place in terms of the impact of these buildings and these housing units, and then the people placed in them, both having its own different components. If you was to remove let's say a demographic of people in terms of a nationality, let's say not all housing projects are Black, but let's say you got Russia, you got other countries suffering the same mental, psychological afflictions being combated in certain small areas around the world, right? It's just not here. So yes, it's a mindset. It becomes a living, breathing organism. The word hood becomes a mindset of not just one or two people, but rather a collective of people. And it don't have to be all people. I guess some of us need to kind of really horn in on knowing that, I mean, I was in the hood, I wasn't part of it, right? I don't act hood. Do y'all hear me act? Do I act hood to you? You know what I'm saying? I made a choice. So you get people who, as a collective, who decide to make a choice as a collective. They decide to follow a code as a collective, a hood code, as you will, as a collective. Then you have people who just won't follow that. It's what it is. Right.
It started out in the minds of individuals
Yes.
experiencing limited abilities to thrive.
Yes. Absolutely.
It started in the
Absolutely.
minds of people who were put in a position where they could not thrive.
Correct. Correct. That's absolutely correct. And it, like the point I was making, it does not actually have to be Black people. It can happen to any demographic if they was placed in in a project for that specific reason, to be oppressed. And then systematically things are being implemented into that specific area so that they cannot thrive. Okay, so you're talking about, like we was speaking about earlier, right? Which was bad schools, no programs, no governmental programs, right? No jobs,
Oh,
overpriced bodegas, think about that, right? A limitless amount of liquor stores in a very small area,
right.
right? So you think about all of that being actually implemented into those specific areas, and then of course, then it's a mindset, it's a collective. people start to be victims of the oppression, not the other way around. They're not just oppressed because they are oppressed. They're not oppressed because they're from that area. They are oppressed because of their circumstances.
Mm. Mm. Which leads to the cycle, because if you're suffering from a depression, from oppression, and there's no resources for you to heal from that depression and oppression,
Correct.
you begin to self-soothe. You begin to try and find your own methods to get out,
Correct. Correct.
or you become complacent with the life that's given to you. So, if the hood, the reason I'm asking this is because we think of the hood as places. We think of the hood as the projects. They started out that way, 100%. Well, they are the result of. They are the result of. Places are the result of mentalities. It started
Mhm.
out as a mentality. And the reason I say this is because whenever we see, you have two groups of people. People, let's say you take a handful of people and say, you know what? I'm going to give you all the things that you claim you did not have, which made you stuck. I'm going to give you an opportunity to live among wealthy people. So I'm going to give you money. I'm going to. I'm sorry, Abby. You said something.
No.
No. I'm going to give you money. I'm going to give you an opportunity to get an education. So I'm going to give you this grant or this scholarship to go to college. And then you see the person go. And you see them end up back sooner or later into the community they started in.
Mm-hmm.
What we call
Right.
the hood. Or you see them causing disruption within the communities that they end up in.
Right. Absolutely. Because it becomes a mindset over a period of time. It becomes, they become victim of their own environment. So you can't take a specific person and put them in another environment without them having to either, and then expect them to thrive. If they haven't learned how to thrive in that environment from the very beginning. You learn how to thrive in the projects. If you grew up in the projects, if you grew up in the hood, you learn how to thrive, right? In that area, you learn how to thrive. You learn how to make the best of it, right? But if I lived 20, 30 years in the hood and then say, let me put you in somewhere in Hollywood, do you really expect how long do you really expect me to thrive there without having to learn how to get by first
Mm,
initially? I have to learn how to get by. I have to learn how to get the income it would take for me to thrive in that area, to live in that environment, right? To function in that environment. Um, and so people are not prepared for the actual change it takes to come outside the hood sometimes, right? Sometimes that in itself is a process to come outside the hood. And sometimes it starts with a passion. It starts with the hope to say, I want more for myself than this. But they have to want that and they have to say that. You understand? I've been there, so I know. So you have to say, I want better for myself. I want more for myself. I don't want to live. I could have had my own apartment in the project. I did not want that. You understand? I said, I don't want an apartment in the projects. I want a home on some land, right? And then you follow through to that feeling, right? With some people just feel fine with what they have presented to them. I can't tell you how many of my friends have it's just went from their parents' house in the apartments in the projects into an apartment of their own in the projects. But guess what? That was enough for them. They were proud of that. It's still
right,
an apartment to them, right? It's still an
right.
apartment. So who am I to judge? And at the end of the day, I can't and I won't, because at the end of the day, it's just a matter of what do you want? What do you want for yourself? What is best for you? You understand?
Hmm. You know what's interesting is when you think about what do I want best for me, the first instinct for people, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, Ivy, correct me if I'm wrong. It appears to me that the first thing people think about when they want better for themselves, they live in the hood, they come from the hood, the first thing they think about is leaving.
Right.
Why would
Absolutely.
you boast and brag about a place that you don't even want to be in?
Very interesting.
What is that saying? What is that truly saying about the environment itself and what needs to happen, what needs to be changed? There are communities throughout the United States and the world, but I want to focus specifically on these Western countries. The the noticing that when people get money, when people open up a business or whatever it is, they leave. They take the business elsewhere. They take their family and they go, right? But
Yeah.
where are the Asian stores
Right. Right. Exactly.
in our community? Where
They're
are the
not there.
bodegas, the Hispanic Latino stores
Mhm.
in our community?
I'm gonna give
Why?
you
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you an example. Um, I did a I did a sh- I used to do shows in New York for to raise funds for the domestic violence shelter, right? And I collaborated with a guy out there to do kind of a, a outside event, right? And he wanted it in the hood. So we were, supposed to be a lot of people out there coming out there to showcase their talents. And when we got out there, that this was going to be our first function in that particular area, because we would do shows all the time in Midtown Manhattan and really up classy areas in the state of New York. But when we got to the hood, it wasn't even 10, 20 minutes into the show before it was a shootout, right? It was an actual shootout.
Mm.
So, I mean, we were both devastated because we want to raise funds and then do events in the same area we raising the funds in, so that everybody reap the benefits of that. The city, I mean, at least the generalized area get to reap the benefits of the proceeds, and the domestic violence shelters around the surrounding area would as well. And then the people in that part of the hood get to come out and enjoy themselves. But no, and I mean, we were upset about that. We were really devastated. We were trying to sit down and discuss ways that we can prevent something like that. But you can't prevent a people from or specific people from picking up a gun. Now, that doesn't mean everybody picked up a gun that day, right? So we had to really keep that in mind and keep pushing forward. We couldn't blame the collective on just two fools, right? And it'd be people like that who glorify the hood. It'd be guys like that who pick up a gun and they glorify, I'm from the hood. I'm from the hood. Those are the ones who glorifying that, because they use that as an identity. It's like a persona. It's an identity. If I say I'm good, if I'm saying I'm hood, I'm so hood. I'm dangerous.
I'm tough. I'm tough.
I'm tough.
Fear me.
You watch me. Yeah, fear me. Watch me.
Fear me.
Yeah. And they give
I think
everybody
there's a
else a bad
bigger
rap.
topic here. Oh my God. I think there's a bigger issue here.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Right.
it possible? Hear me out, you guys. Is it possible the reason that there's so many gangs, so many tough men, I'm tough. Here, watch me shoot you for anything. Watch me rob you for anything. Watch me brag about the things that I do and the harm that I cause and the devastation I create. Because truly, I have nothing but this block. I have nothing but the streets that I walk.
Yeah.
And I need to feel important. I need to feel powerful.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. People frantically search for the need to tie themselves to something to give them an identity. And if they feel powerless, They feel powerless in a big world. They'll say, it's saying I'm a rep this because I'm powerless.
How y'all doing? God, I'm gonna mute myself because I'm about to go in the bathroom. I'm just making because she ate all her cheese. So I'm gonna give her some more cheese. I'm gonna be back to talk. Okay.
You say you gotta go to the bathroom? Oh.
Yeah, she said she going.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
you.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. That's how I feel. So people they need something. They need identities. Like I am this. This is who I am. The hood is who I am, and my identity at a core. Now I don't have to explain myself to you, because if you think the hood is dangerous, then so am I. Right? So
Right.
yeah.
This is so we got. Hopefully, Uppity go hurry up and take a little butt to the bathroom. We got 15 minutes, y'all.
Oh. What the hell?
Hello?
Yeah, my mic keep going in and out. I don't know why. I was saying I'm back, and my mic was off.
It's all good. Tell me, hit it to me, Uppity. What's up?
Okay,
What are
I want to talk about the positive aspects of the hood because I don't know. I love growing up in the projects because it was a sense of family to me. It's like you had all these brothers and sisters from other mothers, all these aunts and uncles. I guess it depends on the type you live at, because my first apartment actually was a project, but I eventually moved from there. But with the project I grew up in, like for instance, a lot of the boys that didn't have fathers, like my dad and other dads, they stepped up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Taking them to football games, taking them cookouts, showing them how to box. And when they want to fight each other, they set up boxing rings. Like, y'all gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna fight and get it out your system. And that curbed them a lot enough from beefing too much, because they already know if the older guys see them, they gonna make them fight. You know what I'm saying? So they got tired first, So that curbed a lot of things, And I think that helped a lot, like when the Blood and Crips came to New York City. That curbed a lot, because it could have easily been war, because that's when I found out, like, some of the Spanish people, because I grew up in Spanish Harlem, was in Latin Kings or whatever it's called. So it was about to be a big rift, you know what I'm saying? But because most of the guys' sisters and mothers and stuff hung together every day, it didn't get nowhere. It was squashed before it even started. And plus, a lot of the older men in my neighborhood, they didn't join into that. That was the younger guys. And they would literally go around snatching things off their head. Like, you from New York, get the fuck out of here with that Cali shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is a good aspect of it. Because I just felt like I should point that out, because it's not all bad,
Right. I agree with you.
And it's low income in New York City. You know what I'm saying? I just recently got chosen because they have like a special program where they bring back Section 8, and it's like a lottery. And I got chosen.
Okay, time out. They're bringing back Section 8 in New York?
No, NYCHA is low income housing. Is basically 30% of your income. So some people living in NYCHA pay more than some people in their house. They pay like $900 just to be in a studio. It goes based on your income. But then that same person with a studio could be paying $900, and the same person living next door in a 2-bedroom could just be paying $25. It just goes up your income. And Section 8 is the same way, but the difference with Section 8, you can take it wherever you want. Like, now that my older kids are older, like my son is in college now, my daughter, she'll be 17 in March. Once she turned 18, now that I got to Section 8, and we was just talking the other day about manifesting things and stuff, right? So I've been thinking about that and manifesting. So I said, I'm just going to focus now. So like when my daughter turned 18 and go to college, me and my little daughter, we're going to move. We're going to move to a place that you can own your own land, because Section 8 can turn into owner's rental, depending on, I think in New York City too, but you can't really own the land. So I want to go somewhere where you own the land. Then I can build my own tiny home, and I can have one tiny home for me and Lila, and then I can build another tiny home, and that's going to be for my catering, and I can sell food out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wait. Okay. Let me. Okay. I'm going to process this real quick. So,
okay.
They are relocating you to another place.
I just got a call. I just got called. My interview is into the 34th. I'm gonna get it, but next month they're going to. I have to submit all my paperwork, and then from there on, I will have the Section 8. So there, I can take the Section 8 anywhere I want to, but I'm not gonna leave the city right now.
You want to take you to a place where you have a lot more land,
where you can get land for cheap, you know what I'm saying, and build on it.
Okay,
Because my dream is to own 2 tiny homes. One is for
that's
me to
right.
live in, and one is gonna be for me to do my catering business. Because you could build your tiny home how you want to. So the other home would just basically essentially be like my own commercial kitchen, you know.
Right. Wow. So this is what I'm here. Okay, so what it sounds like you're saying is the benefits from the hood, from based on what I'm hearing, is that a sense of family or community developed,
Correct.
develop conflict resolution. You know, with the men, there are different ways to address conflict resolution
Correct.
and getting assistance when you need it.
And a lot of people that I grew up with, like the elders that I grew up with, they left that apartment to their kids because they was able to save, you know, because not everybody reports all their money to NYCHA, you know what I'm saying? So they was able to save and own a home when they got in their older years. So they moved out the city, like some moved to Connecticut, some moved down south, and they was able to pass that apartment down to their kids, you know, and then they
Generational
kids,
wealth. Mhm.
and that's how that where I grew up. That's what mostly people do. They save, and then when they get older, they turn the apartment over to their kids, and then they move out and they move somewhere where it's cheaper. They can own their own house because they was able to save all them years because they only have to pay 30% of their income, and NYCHA doesn't know about all that income. So some of them had a man that wasn't on the lease. So you know what I'm saying, that man whole paycheck could go to savings for whatever they want to do when they get later in life. You know what I'm saying? I know most of my friends got their apartments from their mom because their mother and dad, either their mother and dad or their mother just moved down south or Connecticut where it was cheaper. And they were able to take over an apartment. And then that's what they plan on doing. They're going to pass that apartment down. So that way, while you're young and living your life and New York is expensive, you at least have like rent control apartment. That makes it a lot easier. So I would say that's one positive.
Absolutely. Uppity. If all those things were also provided in a space without gun violence, without the oppression of the system, would you move there?
Yes. Yes. Because like I told you, my first apartment was in NYCHA, but it was in the Bronx. So being that I didn't grow up in that community, I never really
Hmm.
truly felt safe there. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know these
Hmm.
people. It's like I was an outsider coming in. So that's the bad aspect. If you didn't grow up with the people, you don't feel comfortable. You don't feel safe because you don't know what's on people's minds, and then nobody knows you to be like, "Hey, leave that girl alone," or whatever the case may be. You know?
Right.
Yeah, like
I
I
get
said,
you
because I
too.
did go up in the project, I had like 50 brothers from other mothers, so they was constantly passing me by, so they was able to, you know, if anything, but that was an aspect, a real aspect for people who don't have that, you know,
Yeah.
especially as
I,
Black
I,
women.
I agree everything she's saying. In New York, they're taking down the actual projects. They're gentrifying the area, and
Yes,
they don't actually remove the project building, but they go in and they put new appliances, and they change the outside area, take away those bodegas, try to add a couple of Walmarts, and then they change the income bracket so that people could go in and get low income and pay with that, get programs, sort of like what Uppity is talking about, not necessarily Section 8, but something very similar. It's different
right.
type of stipend that they could get to where they only
Yeah,
pay a small portion of that. So they're doing that often in a lot of surrounding projects. A lot of them are doing that.
yeah,
The
especially in
two that they're
Manhattan,
not.
they selling off the projects. Trump bought like 11 projects about 3 years ago. I mean, no,
Mhm.
I'm saying like before he ran for president, he had already owned 11 projects. So now they making up these crazy rules. I know one elderly lady that was they were trying to evict her because her home attendant got caught in the terrorists smoking weed. And I'm like, this lady is bedbound. How the hell she knows what the home attendant is doing in the terrace? And they really was trying to kick her out because they want to take over those apartments because
Yep.
people that didn't take the deal and leave, they're trying to force them out with all these crazy rules. Like now they got a new rule: you can't smoke cigarettes in your apartment, or
Yep.
you could be evicted.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of them do. A lot of them are doing that because they want to take it over, and it turns into
Right.
private ownership. It turns into
Yeah.
private ownership, so they could get them out, and then they could raise it.
Correct.
Eventually, they will try to squeeze. I've seen this done in different areas in Brooklyn, right? So it switch from project to low income with stipends, and then eventually as the area grows, they're going to end up, so they're going to end up trying to squeeze out the people with the stipend so that people who has higher income could actually pay full rental prices for those apartments. That's unfortunate, but that's how they gentrify an area. That's how they push the black. That's how they push the the black brown community into different areas out of those specific areas. That's what they do. They try to get you out of the city. They trying to push people more towards the south. Now, here's another thing I want to touch on what Uppity said, which I love, is because she's right about community. Like in my family is still predominant in the Edgemere and Far Rockaway projects. One of the parks in Far Rockaway is named after my grandfather. So so Far Rockaway, they turned it to his last name, one of the Far Rockaway parks. So the parks, not the project, but the park. And so I got a big family still out there to this day. And yes, what happened was when it was time for a fight, nobody want to fight us. But it caused some of the biggest trauma in my life because my family made me fight one of my best friends. And she wasn't going to fight me. Why was she not going to fight me? It wasn't because she was afraid of me, because she wasn't. She was like 2 feet taller than me. Why did she not beat me up? Because my family ring bells. That's trauma. It was trauma for both of us at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, but did it give me some of the biggest memories as far as family is concerned? Absolutely. Because when you think about, like I was talking about, that moral code, we all get together and we have some of the best times in our life because we ain't trying to put on no front for nobody. It ain't about no fancy party. It's about food, fun, and communication. Everybody get around and have some good eating, and we all have a blast. You understand what I'm saying? Aunt might come in and mess it up because she's a little drunk, or uncle might do something because he's a little drunk. But hey, it was still memories.
Your aunt, uncle fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Somebody gonna fight. Somebody gonna fight at the end of the day. It's just what it is, right? That's memories.
Or your parents gonna argue because you giving one kid attention, you're not paying enough attention to my kid. What about my kid? They can dance too. You know what I'm saying? It's all
but this is what I want to touch on, Uppity. You right about the memory part, but this is very important. Let me ask you something real quick. Based on those memories, right? Would that be something you would want for your kids over and over? Like, would that be the environment you want for your kids and your kids' kids?
No. And while we on this subject, Nyla, excuse me, let me close the door. Go watch your TV. What do you want? Okay, so I basically had to cut up a lot of family members throughout my years as I got older.
When you go next to the cartoons, you gotta mute yourself because I'm gonna get.
Oh no, that was her. She opened the door. I was in the other. I'm in the bathroom. She came in the bathroom. But yeah,
you can just get real petty.
Yeah, I know. Nyla, stop. If you're gonna stay in. If not, stop. So bye, Nyla. Get out. Bye. Thank you. Bye. No. Sorry about that. So, oh my God, hold on a second. Let me mute my mic. Go ahead.
It's okay.
It's all right. I enjoyed that perspective. That really lightened the mood, and that helped me to remember what the purpose of this live is for. And it's not to bash anybody. It's not to bash a community. It's to start thinking and reshaping the way we think about our experiences, so that we can build with us in mind, and without allowing a system that it doesn't appreciate us to control us.
Facts. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just to answer your question. When I grew up, as I was growing up, and because I don't know if it's because I'm a Pisces, I always want to express my feelings. I like people call me emotional, whatever. So when I be having conversations, and my thing is, if I'm telling you that you hurt me or something hurt me, and for instance, the first I used to be really close to one of my uncles. He was in the service when I was growing up. So I used to write him when my grandmother would write him, I would write him my own little letter or drawing, whatever, send it to him. But this was around 8 years old. And then when I started getting into my 20 years, of course, life changes. I'm more into going boy crazy, want to be with my friends, trying to be sneaky and stuff, So he came home one day, and this is when he was out of service for good. So, yeah, because he used to send me like big teddy bears from all around the world and stuff. And then I was like, why you stop sending me stuff? I never understood that. He's like, because you stopped writing me. I said, I was 10 years old. He said, that didn't matter. So I said, wow. And from that day on, I never tried to have a relationship with him again. I'm like, wow, you that petty. You know what I'm saying? I was a little girl. Like, why you putting so much on me? You know? So that I stopped talking to him. Then it's like things like that. So as I'm having conversations with you and I express myself and you don't honor my feelings, then I'm just gonna not deal with you, because black people, black family, they tend to think like you have to deal with them, and I don't have to. If you're not adding value to my life and you always bringing me stress and issues, I'm not gonna deal with it, and I'm certainly not having you bring that into my kids' life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of my family only get to see my kids through pictures on social media that they be stalking me on, dummy pages.
And that's very
Do you?
important, uppity, because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, because this is where I learned that the word family, we have to really pay attention to the word that we use when we say family, because family, the ones that we're born into, could be very toxic. And when coming from the hood, we
Right.
got, I came from the hood. I don't like to say that all the time. I can't, not to say I'm not hiding from who I am. It made me the person that I am. It's part of my moral code. A lot of my family
That's a
members
fact.
were toxic. Were toxic, right? And I had to
Yes.
really think
Yes.
back about that, because if I didn't want to put my children in the same environment from which my family came from, what does that say? That says a lot,
Right.
because we want to protect our kids, right?
That's
Right?
right.
So if it really was about family and memories and love and all that other stuff, but I wouldn't let my children live in that existence for a long time. They could visit it anytime, but I wouldn't want them to live in it. That's a problem. That needs to be really thought about and discussed.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right, you guys. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry to do this. Unfortunately, the program is only 1 hour long because I have like a million things to do.
Okay.
But I think we're gonna have a part two. I feel like, what do
Yeah.
you think?
Yes. Yeah. I think we should definitely talk about narcissistic family members.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel
Like,
like a lot of people are the black sheep and they don't know it, and because they're made
Mhm.
to feel like they're wrong because everybody's against them, And I think that
yeah.
should be addressed.
Hello. Coming from the biggest
And
black sheep on the planet right here. Hello. I know.
I'm the no girl.
and
You only after me.
yeah, I think all of these things are like we get stuck with each other because of the circumstances that we live in. And I think it's so much bigger and it's smaller and bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller at the same time. Um,
And it also can trigger
Right.
us in life, so we flip out sometimes. I think
yeah,
certain things. Yeah.
Right.
wow.
Right.
Thank you so much, you guys, for coming up. We're going to have a part two. Um, next time I'm going to show the video that I wanted to show.
Okay.
Um, so are you going to always come up with the Lena Russell?
Yeah. Because yeah. That's what I'm gonna come up under.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Perfect.
Okay, ladies. I will see you guys
Bye.
tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Bye,
And
buddy.
now it'll be in
Bye
school,
bye.
thank God. All right, y'all enjoy.
All
And
right.
bye,
Bye. Bye.
Yummy. Bye, Yummy.
Bye, Yummy.
Bye,
Bye,
Em.
Will. Bye,
Bye,
Ivy.
Ivy.
Bye.
Please make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share this video with as many people as you possibly can. Um, Also, this week, and that's why I like to leave my schedule a little bit open because so that we can continue having these discussions. So we're gonna finish up this discussion on tomorrow on Tuesday. And then we're gonna get into Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to get into how to protect yourself as a woman, self defense, getting physically fit, which will lead us into our weekly workout every Friday, 10 to 11. You guys, Eastern Standard Time. I hope you are there. I'm so thankful for all of you. I'm so thankful for everyone who listens. Put in the comments your thoughts if you are watching this on a replay. And don't forget to purchase 15 Steps to Find a Love, A Woman's Journey. This book is for you, for women, by women. It will build you into whatever it is that you are working toward, because it has a step for every aspect of your life. All right, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And until next time, peace.